Hello, my name's Jack Sizemore. I'm a Territory Manager for Therma-Tru Doors. I'm in our Bowling Green, Ohio facility in our infamous Wall of Shame, where we have recreated some of the more common service situations that you run into in the field. The purpose of this video is to show you how to correct those situations. So let's get to work. Air and/or light infiltration at top or bottom of jamb. This problem is air and/or light at the top or bottom of the unit. It's being created by an uneven door to jamb measurement. As you can see at the bottom, we have a measurement of a 1/2 inch. And at the top, it telegraphs out to almost an inch. This is created by either a warp door or an out of plumb lock jamb. We have put a 6-foot level on the door. We have determined that the door is not warped. So to remedy this, we will loosen up the lock jamb and adjust it to fit the door properly with a 1/2 inch measurement at the top and the bottom. Right now I'm going to remove the installation screws, adjust the lock side jamb for an even 1/2 inch door to jamb measurement top to bottom, and then reinstall the installation screws. After you remove the installation screws, adjust the jamb for a proper margin. Okay. As you can see, we now have a uniform door to jamb measurement, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Another cause of air or light infiltration around your unit is improper weather stripping. It can either be caused by painted weather stripping, magnetic weather stripping with a short magnet, or torn or damaged weather stripping. To remedy this, you simply replace the weather stripping. You just remove it by giving it a firm tug. Your new weather strip will come out slightly longer, so you want to keep your old piece and lie it on the new piece and cut it to length. Now I've already done it with this piece and I'm going to install it. The weather strip comes with barbed legs, and you simply insert those in the jamb and then work your way down the jamb leg, pushing firmly. And that's all there is to it. The most common complaint on air and light infiltration is light at the bottom corners of the unit. That's because the corner seal pads are not installed. These are an integral part of the Therma-Tru system, and typically what happens to these on a job site. That's right, they're thrown away in the garbage. You don't want to do that. These are an integral part of the Therma-Tru system. We're now going to install the corner seal pads. You want to place a 1/4 inch bead of sealant between the jamb and the sill, and you seat the corner seal pad firmly in the caulk and staple.
Perfect.
Air and water infiltration around or under sill. This problem is a hump sill. The first step in fixing the hump sill is removing the oak riser. To do this, you simply turn the screws counterclockwise, working your way down the sill saddle, not overdoing it, so you put a bind on the screws adjacent to the one you're turning. Just keep turning the screws until they come all the way out. And you remove it. After you remove the oak riser, it's important to remove the TPE seal on the exterior of the oak riser. You simply do that by pulling it out of the slot that it's in. To remedy our hump in our sill, we're going to use one of our installation screws to anchor the sill to the substrate. Now it's necessary to pre-drill, which I've already done, and then you simply install the installation screw. You can now see that I'm reinstalling my oak saddle. I've also got the TPE strip still out, and that's very important. You don't want to install this before you install the saddle. It has tiny barbed legs that need to run uphill, and if you install the oak saddle with this still installed and you install the oak saddle down, these tiny legs will run downhill, which could create another water leak. So this is important to remember. To reinstall this, it has a barbed leg that fits in a groove in the sill. You simply snap it in, slide it over, that's all there is to it. A lack of sealant between the bottom of the sill and the subfloor is another area for water infiltration. The only proper way to remedy this situation is to remove the unit, caulk properly, and reinstall the unit. Another possible area of water infiltration is where the jamb meets the sill. It's possible that they may have missed caulking this area in the door shop, or it was racked during shipment to the job site. To remedy this, you simply clean off the old caulk and reseal. Water infiltration often occurs from an improperly adjusted door bottom. It's either adjusted too low or too high. As you can see in this situation here, we have a door bottom or an oak riser that is adjusted way too high, and it's causing the outside lip of the door bottom to bow underneath, which could cause water infiltration. We are now going to adjust the sill properly. One of the things that I look for when I'm adjusting an oak riser properly is that the drip flap or drip edge rolls underneath when I'm closing the door, and then when it's closed completely, pops out. That way you know that you have a nice snug fit on the door bottom. One easy way to adjust the sill is the dollar bill method. You simply place the bill on the oak riser, shut the door, and pull on the dollar bill. And you want a nice firm tension on the dollar bill. If it comes out too easily, you need to adjust up, and if you can't pull it out at all, you need to adjust it down. Very simple. During the course of your field inspection, you may determine that the door bottom needs replaced. It's a very easy procedure that takes about 5 minutes. You simply remove the old door bottom, and with your new door bottom, determine the handing of your door, and remember that the large bulb goes to the inside for an in-swing unit. You want to caulk the edges of the door approximately 2 inches past the kerfs. Insert the kerfs on the bottom of the door bottom into the kerfs on the bottom of the door. Tap it in, and you want to make sure that this alignment is flush with the edge of the door. This is critical because if you come out too far, you'll create a little dam that will catch water, and if you don't come all the way up to the edge, water could get in there also. Simply tap the door bottom in. Once you have it installed, you want to anchor it, applying 2 staples at both ends. Water leakage around door system perimeters. This is a situation that we see all too often in the field. It's a unit that's nailed in by the brick mold only with no nails or screws through the face of the jamb. It's very important that the unit be secured through the face of the jamb either by using nails or screws, and you want to look for this when you're doing your inspection. A possible area of water infiltration is around the brick mold. And we have a test buck here, but it's very important that you caulk between the brick mold and your wall surface, and also between the brick mold and the frame. This is very critical, especially if you're getting water infiltration. During your inspection for air and water infiltration, you want to check the seal between the side light and the frame. If there are gaps in the seal, simply remove the old caulk and reseal. Door will not open or close properly. One of the hardest units to install in the industry is the double door. And the situation we have here is one that we run into fairly often. We have a lack of shims behind the hinges, and we have a door that's out of plumb. Another common occurrence with double doors is hinge bind, and you can see that when I close this door that the hinge actually moves, or there's tension on that hinge, which creates a warped door. To remedy this, we're going to shim behind the hinges and replumb the door. I've now installed my shims behind all three hinges, eliminating the hinge bind and making sure that I have the proper margin in the center of the unit. Another common situation that allows air and light infiltration is a door that when closed is still loose, and this is caused by an improperly adjusted strike plate. If you have that situation with Therma-Tru's patented adjustable security strike plate, you simply loosen the screws, adjust in the adjustable tang to pull the door tighter to the weather stripping, tighten the screws, and you're in business. This door is sagging and rubbing at the top. There are two situations that can cause this. The frame can be out of square, caused by an unlevel sill, or the 2.5-inch hinge screws can be missing, which allows the door to sag and rub at the top. We're going to shim behind this top hinge, install our 2.5-inch hinge screws, pull that door up square in the unit. To maintain proper margins, it's important to shim behind the hinges before you install your long 2.5-inch hinge screws. I've eliminated the door rubbing and sagging by installing the 2.5-inch hinge screws, and by proper shimming I've achieved the proper head and lock side margins.
For this.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Because this unit is nailed in by the brick mold only, it is suffering from the bay window effect, which is misaligned side lights. If possible, our recommendation is to remove the unit, reinstall it, making sure the side lights are aligned properly. One of the main causes for a frame being out of square is an unlevel subfloor. To remedy this, we simply determined which jamb was the lowest and shimmed underneath that jamb, making sure to recaulk after we shimmed. Well, that's it. I hope it helped. If you do run into any situations that you can't resolve, don't hesitate to contact your local territory manager or call 1-800-ThermaTru.